Welcome to Wrestling Over Everything, ladies and gentlemen. We are a very funny wrestling podcast out of the Central Valley of California. I'm Andrew. That's Dusty.
Hey.
Dusty, well, I'll talk about it in a second. Follow us on all the stuff. I can't remember what. I think our Twitter is WOE Wrestling Pod, and then look up Wrestling Over Everything on YouTube. By this time, you probably know what our logo looks like. Just look for the logo. You know, Dusty's got a blue sky going. What's blue sky, Dusty?
Yeah, the blue sky is at WOE Wrestling, at Blue Sky Social. I like the blue sky. It's nice to not have to read particular people's thoughts.
I'm sure. I agree with you, but I'm sure it'll be nice for the 2 more weeks that Blue Sky exists. But we're gonna be on there.
We're on there. Look, I'm on there till I'm not. A guy told me that I have butthurt opinions and then followed me. So thanks, guy who did that.
You have butthurt wrestling opinions?
Apparently so.
That's what we should have called the podcast, Butthurt Wrestling.
Yeah, he was like, he liked a random blue sky. I don't know. Is it a tweet? What do you call it?
I don't know, dude. I thought, yeah. You send it skyward. I sent something skyward, and somebody liked it.
Yeah, he liked it, and then he replied and said I had to scroll back. I've only made this account like 4 days ago, so there's like not that many skywards on there. Mm-hmm. But he was like, I had to scroll back quite a bit to find a non-butthurt opinion, but I did. Good for you. And I was like, I don't even know. I don't even know what that means.
So just a rave review. Dusty's just, if you want to see some butthurt wrestling takes, I don't know what I am on Twitter yet. Like I used to be a little bit, have an identity, like when I was trying to tweet for our old podcast, but I don't know what I'm doing yet. I might just give you the Twitter, and I know I probably should just talk to you about this offline. But Dusty earlier just told me that he ordered a blanket with a picture of his cat on it, and they accidentally sent him an in memoriam blanket for just another guy, for dude.
Yeah, my wife, I found a picture online of a cat laying on a blanket that was a picture of that cat. Hilarious. And we're a big cat household over here. So I said
you can't see it right now, but my cat is currently sniffing my elbow. Oh, wait.
Yeah. We're a pro cat pod here. Look at that. You can see him if you're watching on YouTube.
Kitty boys.
But I sent that to my wife, and I was like, can we do this as a joke? And she was like, absolutely not. And then like 3 days later, she sent me the confirmation that she had sent a picture of our cat laying on her back with her paws up, looking all cute, to have a blanket made. And I was stoked because I think this is hilarious. So the blanket, she texted me while I'm at work. The blanket came, and I was like, hell yeah. And then she, like 3 minutes later, she goes, oh no, it's not the blanket. And I was like, oh, did you order something else? And she goes, no, we got a blanket, but it's of a guy, some guy. And I was like, what do you mean? And she's like, I think it's for someone who died. And she finally showed it to me today. I hadn't asked to see it, but I can confirm that it appears to be a picture of a guy, and it says always watching over and protecting you. And I mean, so that means to me that something got crossed at the custom blanket factory, and now some grieving family has a giant blanket of my big ass cat.
What if the guy was mauled by a house cat and that's how he
died? He got a toxoplasmia that you can get from cats, and went insane and died.
He got a motorcycle accident because of toxoplasm. Toxoplasm.
Yeah, because his what do they call it? His danger neurons weren't firing, you know?
Yeah. So you and I both famously dead moms.
That's very true. Yes.
If anybody knows anything about both of us, it's that our moms could not be more dead, right?
Yep. We have a podcast. Moms are dead. Yeah. Mom's never going to be a guest on this podcast.
No, I mean, it'd be sick, but
that'd be a different podcast. We'd have the #1 podcast.
Yeah. And we would have talked to more dead people than what's that show? Ghost Hunters.
Yeah, or crossing over with John Edwards.
Yeah. But and my mom hated wrestling. So, but could you imagine getting a mom blanket?
No, I couldn't imagine. I don't know. Like all of those things. I know it's important to people, but I know people who have had like the shirts of a deceased person or something on their car, which seems particularly tacky to me. But I'm not those people. If that's how you grieve the way that you want to grieve.
Yeah,
but
grieve your grief. I'm going to make fun of it, but grieve your grief.
Right. I would never in a million. I mean, I have a tattoo. We're both tattoo guys. So I have a tattoo that's representative of my mom.
Yeah.
But it's not like of her face.
It's just a picture of her dead body.
Yeah. It's actually just cancer cells.
Yeah,
that's what took her out. Yeah.
It just says cancer. That's all it says.
Yeah.
Well, to pivot this to wrestling so we can get into it, Mongo McMichael died a few hours ago. So,
oh, no.
Yeah.
I had not been alerted. We stand a legend.
Yeah.
Look, he was in the Four Horsemen, baby.
Yeah,
that's an elite group of people.
He was a big part, and genuinely, I think he was a big part of WCW during his time. And like, we're gonna I think we're gonna talk about how bad his matches were. Constantly on this podcast, you're gonna hear it all the time. It's probably gonna be the Mongo McMichael Memorial worst match of the night. Is probably what we're gonna do,
but with love, because I also love Steve Mongo McMichael.
Yeah,
it's
and I'm bummed that he's dead.
Not a very good commentator, bad wrestler, but was in the Four Horsemen.
I got
lauded
it, dude.
For their wrestling ability, the Four Horsemen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta admit, dude, I am so mad at Lou Gehrig for inventing that didiase. I can't believe. I don't know why he didn't just stick to baseball.
Yeah. He was so busy thinking if he could, he didn't stop to think if he should.
Yeah, he's like, oh man, I came up with the worst thing you can die of.
It's
naturally, at least.
Yeah. Anyway. I had heard that. That sucks.
Yeah, rest in peace, Mongo. Thanks for the memories. Shout out to his family and all that.
But that's not what we're here for. We're not here to talk about blanket mix-ups. There's more Mongo talk in the future. We are going to cover last weekend's. You hear there was a pretty big wrestling event last weekend, Andrew.
Yeah, I've heard it may have been the Granddaddy, but I'm not sure. A lot of Nard bashing. So it might have been a Nard fest 2025.
2025. They're trying to take it old school. We of course WrestleMania 41 was this past weekend. Also, according to Wikipedia, promoted as WrestleMania Vegas. Hadn't heard that. That's stupid. I don't like that.
Well, I guess everywhere they go, it's WrestleMania that, right?
Right, but it's not promoted WrestleMania Vegas. At least that I can tell. So
they should have done something cool like All In.
Yeah. If you turn everything kind of into a poker a metaphor, there's no way that could go bad for you.
Destined to be a good event that everybody loves and catapults you into the stratosphere. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right. So this, of course, last Saturday.
Wait, I'm hearing that somebody else uses All In. Never mind.
Hold on. Breaking news.
Our producer's in my ear right now.
Saturday and Sunday, the Lord's weekend overtaken by WrestleMania.
It is weird that they chose the Lord's weekend.
Yeah, Easter's a bad weekend, especially for me because I had stuff going on and had to start night 2 pretty late.
I had stuff going on.
Yeah,
Jesus is just all right with me. You know what I mean?
Like, right. I'm sort of middling on the guy, but I still respect the day. It's a ham day, one of the few designated ham days.
We did have ham, and I didn't know it was a ham day, and I wore I got to wear a collar.
Okay.
I was a little hungover, but just nothing is worse. Nothing is worse than watching kids pick up eggs when you're hungover. But
Well, and
Anyway.
when you're an adult and you're like, just look like 1 foot.
There's an egg right fucking there.
As
It's
soon
right
as
there.
you're telling me as soon as you pick up all these eggs, we can go back inside.
Yeah.
I don't have to be out here.
Well, then there's one there. There's one there. There's one on the fence. There's always one on the fence, and they never see the one on the fence.
That's
anyway.
the sneaky hiding spot. So, all right. So WrestleMania on Saturday was from Allegiant Stadium. They are quoting a sellout of 57,037 people. I want you to keep that number in mind, Andrew, as we move forward.
57 what? 57,000 what?
57,037 people.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Pretty good. It's a big house, as it were. Night one, my overall thoughts were not that great, kind of middling. There's a couple of really good things here. Most of it was like a Monday Night Raw level of pro wrestling.
What do you mean? You don't like the War Raiders?
The War Raiders versus the New Day didn't make the big board of best matches of the night.
Yeah,
for me. So
I do have surprising takes on the War Raiders for you. You will
okay.
be surprised. The rest of these fuckers have never heard my takes.
Match one. They start hot. They've been doing this a few years. You open with a World Heavyweight title match. You got Jey Uso defeating Gunther by submission, 16 minutes, 30 seconds. This is the right decision. We talked about it last week. Jey Uso had to win this match. Otherwise, he's dead on arrival as a top babyface. Since Gunther basically pulled his card, he had to win. So right decision. I don't find Jey Uso very compelling as a singles wrestler. He kind of bores me from the in-ring side of things. This match was okay. It wasn't great, but right decision, and the crowd loves Jey Uso. So
yeah, and I think this was his move set in this match, if you want to call it that, is better than like the end of the Usos. The end of the Usos was like super kicks. It was just super kicks like the whole time.
I don't think he threw a super kick in this whole match.
I think he threw like two.
He might
have. But it wasn't like every 15 second there's a super kick, you know?
It's instinctual almost for him, you know?
Well, he needs it more than he needs to breathe. But like I think he was more varied in his attacks on this one. Where Gunther cheated with the belt, I thought that was a good spot. I think we'll get to what I think is like bad, like ref shenanigans and cheating bullshit in night two. But Gunther has the belt, side of the ring. Jay is like staring at him. Jay goes to do a suicide dive. Ref jumps out of the way so he doesn't see. I mean, the ref could probably put two and two together. I saw that big fucker right there holding the belt. Now guy's holding his forehead, and the belt is gone.
Only call it if you see it.
Yeah,
but causation. What is it?
Correlation does not equal causation.
Yeah. Can only call what I can see with my eyes, dog.
Yeah. So it was that one was well done. That was a believable ref whoopsie. I honestly like. I think that might have been my favorite Jey Uso match. Like,
yeah, I think it's like I said. I liked the Usos in their run. I think he's growing as a singles wrestler. It's probably really difficult if you've been a tag team wrestler for all of those years to suddenly be the only guy. And he's a babyface, so like he doesn't have to do as much because the crowd loves him. He's like one of the most over guys in the company at this point.
Which is crazy. So, I'm all the way over Yeet, dog.
But if he's going to have a long run with the belt, I think the in-ring kind of has to be better because even though WWE isn't the quote-unquote work rate promotion, that's not what they sell themselves as. If you're going to be in the main event, you want that match to be good. You're going to be called upon to have like a memorable match. So all in all, I think it's good. Jey Uso won. So even when he loses this belt, he can always be looked at as a threat to win the belt again because they did go all the way with him, and I think it helps the Royal Rumble because he was an upper mid card guy when he won the Royal Rumble. Wasn't a main event star yet, and it re-legitimizes the idea that you can make somebody with the Royal Rumble if you also give them the WrestleMania win. So overall, I liked it.
That's a great point. I also think, and I will now admit that I think he needed to win with all the context.
Yeah.
I like Gunther a lot more than I like Jey Uso, but you know, I'm warming up. And one thing I wish they would make submissions look a little bit more realistic. Like, I didn't like the Gunther tapped to a blood choke in this.
Yeah, I think like there's the 80s version of submissions where the guy either has to have his arm hit 3 times or he's like selling for a long time in it before he gives up. I think that's too cartoony for now. I think the sweet spot now is kind of in the battle over the submission, because if you love wrestling, you love the story, there can be a little bit of contrivance, but like we've seen how much an armbar can hurt somebody in real life. If you've watched any MMA, you know it's a wrap if somebody gets that armbar. So now I think most of it is in the struggle for the submission. And
I wish there was a thing where there was like, this would be a good way to like get a really quick surprise win. It's like somehow they get in like almost like a grappling or scramble exchange on the ground. Like something happens to where they're in this awkward position on the ground next to each other, and Jay just reaches over, freaking grabs the rear naked choke, puts a body triangle in, and has it in for like 20 seconds. Gunther is completely past, because the crowd will be going crazy at that time. Jay's like squeezing as hard as he can and like screaming or whatever. Gunther's getting red in the face, and then Gunther goes limp, and Jay just gets up and just throws him to the side, and he's completely out cold, and they call a technical submission and wins that way. Like I'm sure somebody's done that in wrestling, but I think that could be a legitimate way to make a creative, exciting finish. But other than that, like, I was pleasantly surprised with this. I was happy with it.
Then it was the New Day, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods, defeating the War Raiders 9 minutes 15 seconds to win the tag team titles. We talked about it last week. I think the New Day have extended themselves as heels. It kind of refreshes their whole thing. They definitely needed to win this match. This match is cold as hell, and it wasn't so good as to overcome the fact that it didn't seem like anybody really cared about this one, which is not the fault of the performers at all.
The crowd was flaccid as hell during this match. But a couple things. I told you that I hated the Viking thing last week. Didn't know they had Viking champions, and these guys are literal Vikings. And why is that interesting? I don't understand. Okay. Anyway. We have to retire. These guys have a definite ceiling as long as they pretend to be Vikings. Period. Right. And they actually can move and they can work for fat guys. Like for big old fuckers, they can move around pretty well. Like the crossbody against the side of the ring was pretty sick. Like these guys,
Xavier Woods selling there made me laugh quite a bit. Where it's like, wah! Which is what you would do in real life if you got smashed by that guy.
Imagine getting to wrestle for the tag belts at WrestleMania, right?
Yeah.
And you're the champion, so you're coming in with some swag. And they go, hey, by the way, we have a deal with Clash of Clans. Yeah. You have to go out there dressed like mobile video game characters.
This is a point of contention for the whole thing. Like Vince McMahon, famously, if you remember the name, was a guy. He wanted the mat to be clean. He didn't want sponsorships on the mat. He didn't like that look or anything. And I don't think that he was necessarily right in the day and age in which we live. That mat was so full of bullshit.
No, I think he's definitely right. He's wrong when it comes to like maximizing profits, but what do you and I care about maximizing profits?
Right.
He's right in the sense that I don't need the Jack Link's beef jerky logo on my wrestling mat. You know, the UFC's bad enough.
Well, but it's everywhere. It's like the LED screens have bullshit around them. There's a Prime hydration station next to the ring. For what? For who?
I can't remember which match when we went to WrestleMania. One of the like scarier, like hardcore matches was sponsored by Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Oh wait, no, it wasn't hardcore match. It was Rey Mysterio versus Dom.
Right, this
And
blood feud between father and son, brought to you by Cinnamon Toast Crunch, a balanced way to start your day.
And they lit it up, the whole, like, the ring, all the light all the way around the stadium was Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
And it's not like WWE has been hurting. They became capitalism the company. Like, they're just like, fuck it, dude. If you'll give us money, we'll put any bullshit. So we'll find a way to put your bullshit somewhere.
What was the one that kept playing throughout the thing? It was like a food. What was it? I can't remember. You don't remember at this WrestleMania? There was one that they played more than once.
I don't remember.
Oh god damn it! Somebody's yelling at their phone right now. Yeah. I can't remember what it was. It's funny. I say that I played it a million times. I don't even fucking remember what it was.
Right.
So.
But it's so yeah. I think that's the right decision. Next we had.
Oh, by the way, their names are Eric and Ivar.
Ivar.
Oh, Ivar. Okay, my whole joke's gone. There was an old Angels infielder named Eric Ivar.
Ah, okay.
So I was gonna make
Yeah, no, Ivar, because he's a Viking, dude.
I don't fucking care that he's a Viking. He's not really a Viking. Like, are we to believe that these guys showed up to Vegas in a wooden ship, Dusty?
Prove it, dude. Prove they didn't.
The Encino Man style. They right next to Linkovich Chimovsky. They pulled him out of the water. God, I hate the Viking gimmicks, bro.
Next, we got Jade Cargill defeating Naomi in a singles match by pinfall, 9 minutes 20 seconds. This was considerably better than I thought it would be. Jade Cargill, to me, she looks great physically, but she's incredibly limited. Like, there were parts in this match where you could tell she was waiting for Naomi. Like, one of the things that exposes wrestling the most is, like, she shoots Naomi into the corner. Naomi puts her foot up and hits her with a boot, and Jade Cargill backs up like a foot and then just stands there and waits for Naomi to jump at her so she can catch her to do something. Yeah. But it's like, she's not selling. There's a long time between what she's doing and the next thing that happens. So it's just kind of a disconnect. Who do you think she is,
CM Punk?
Right. There's just kind of a disconnect.
Because he was doing that a lot during the Triple Threat.
There's there's a lot of setup. The best part of this match was there's a point where Jade lifts up Naomi like in an electric chair drop position, which is where she has her on her shoulders facing forward. They're both facing forward. And then she pushed Naomi up, flipped around, and power bombed her. And it looked crazy. It looked like she nearly killed Naomi on this spot, but it looked great. Yeah. And everybody seemed to be fine. And Jade won, which again, I think in this instance is the right decision. But I think we'll talk about night 2, where I think that's going. But it was fine. It wasn't spectacular, but it was fine.
I don't have a lot to say about it. Jade's very strong. She seems like a bitch, and that's a good thing.
Yeah. Fourth up, we got my main man, Jacob Fatu, defeating LA Knight to become the United States champion, 10 minutes, 40 seconds. I thought after the opening match, this was kind of the first match to really have some juice to it. There's a spot where Jacob Fatu goes for a moonsault, and LA Knight grabs him and hits him with his finish out of the air. That looked really cool. They didn't quite nail it, but because of the camera angle, you're able to cheat it a little bit, and it looked cool.
Fatu sells really well too.
Yeah, and then in the end, Fatu hit him with the Samoan drop and two moonsaults and got the pin, and the crowd was into the cheering for Jacob Fatu to win, which probably I don't think that it indicates that they don't care about LA Knight. It's people want to see title changes, and Jacob Fatu's moveset is cool as shit, even though he's a heel, and people like him. So it's like this whole, it's like a whole bunch of different things happening to make the crowd excited, even though he's still a heel at the end of the day.
Yeah, they. I mean, they cheered both guys.
Yeah.
Fatu moves really well, especially for like a guy who's just shaped like Kevin Owens.
Yeah. Well, and he used to be bigger. He like slimmed down before he came to WWE, and he could do all that stuff at the bigger weight. I'm glad that he slimmed down because I'm sure it's better for his knees and his back and everything.
And his opponents.
Yeah, yeah. That moonsault looks killer. Like he nails it every single time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought that this is good, and it sets Fatu up with the title, and they can keep that on him for a while, and then eventually probably move him up to the main event.
Remember during the preview, I said he's got Haku face.
Yeah,
fucking Haku showed up.
To
give him props.
I don't even know that Haku was supposed to come down to the ring, but who's going to stop Haku if he wants to come to the ring?
Do something about it.
Yeah, he's the man. So yeah,
bite your face off.
Yeah, he'll bite your nose off and not even care about it. But yeah, that I thought this match had a little bit of juice for the crowd. And then next we went to El Grande Americano defeating Rey Fenix, who was a last minute replacement for Rey Mysterio, who got injured on the SmackDown the night before. Apparently legitimately. So it sounds like he tore his groin, which sucks. Yeah, for Rey. 7 minutes 55 seconds. I think Chad Gable is incredible. He's incredibly talented. He's a great wrestler. Rey Fenix, my love of Rey Fenix and his many wrestling jackets is well known, not on this podcast, but previously. Rey Fenix's jacket game, unparalleled. He's one of the best high flyers in the world. I know that the El Grande Americano gimmick's supposed to be a joke and it's supposed to be funny. I hate it. I hate it. I know that it will eventually lead to him getting embarrassed and losing, but I'm still
his
like,
his face is gonna be in the dude. You gotta understand,
right? It's so like it's one of those '90s era gimmicks where I just like I don't know, it doesn't work for me. But I thought the match was fine. They didn't give it all away, but there were still some cool spots in this thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's room for parody, even even racial parody, especially it's wrestling.
No, I know. I think the thing that upsets me is that like Chad Gable legitimately could be one of the best wrestlers.
He's better
in the
than
world.
this. Yeah, he's better than this. Sure.
And they constantly saddle him with funny quote unquote gimmicks. And it's like good for him. He's getting paid. He's on TV. But I'm like, if you wanted to treat this guy like Kurt Angle, he has the legitimate credentials and the wrestling ability to be a guy like that. And so I think it's like it's beneath him, and it's a bummer because it doesn't. If they wanted to make him serious, they'd have so much ground to make up now because of all the stuff they've done before.
This is some true blue blazer shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't love it just because for that exact reason, like,
right. I think there's room for, I'm not I'm not like it has to be Harley Race NWA 70s serious. I'm just like, I wish they'd do it with somebody that wasn't as good as Chad Gable, but you couldn't do it with someone as good as Chad Gable because he can get it over. That's how good Chad Gable is. I just wish that and then I don't love that they beat Phoenix. He just debuted a couple weeks ago, and he's been on AEW TV. He was a big part of their early TV, so it's not like he's a brand new property. But a lot of people who watch WWE haven't seen AEW, so you have a chance to remake this guy, and him losing, doesn't help that. And there's other guys that could have lost in this match. The match wouldn't have been as good, but you would have got to the same point.
Yeah, I think they don't want to replace Rey with somebody too far lesser than, and they also don't want to beat El Grande Americano yet. So
right, so kind of just a shit spot for Phoenix. Except he got to perform in front of 62,000 people, so maybe he's not that upset about it.
Yeah, he's
You
gonna be
know?
fine. I mean,
Yeah,
they can book their way out of that. You know,
yeah.
he was a last second replacement. Like he
Plus,
easily could.
plus, El Grande Americano cheated to win. I like the metal disc in the helmet is very, like that's very old school wrestling.
Yeah,
And that's very funny to me. So,
diamond plate in the shoe,
yeah, Eric Bischoff diamond plate in the shoe.
in the
Uh,
karate shoe.
Sixth, co-main event, or the precursor to the main event of night one. Women's champion Tiffany Stratton defeated Charlotte Flair 19 minutes and 5 seconds. I had really high hopes for this match because I think Charlotte, in spite of the fact that I am tired of her, is a very skilled performer in ring, and I think Stratton is very good considering how she's only been wrestling, I think, less than 5 years. Uh, and this just didn't come together. I forgot to include in my math that when Charlotte Flair is losing, she doesn't care as much about having a great match. And so this just like it was ugly. There was a lot of miscommunication on spots and stuff. I think the result is correct and kind of a surprise. I'm glad Tiffany won. I think there's more runway there for her. I thought the Barbie entrance was cool. They didn't do a lot of like big, cool entrances like they've
Yeah,
done in the last few WrestleManias. Like LA Knight came out in a Maserati, which I guess is cool. But I'm not like I don't really care about that.
it's just a car. Like
Right.
Maseratis are cool, but like we have the internet. We can
Right.
see
Yeah. I
any
don't know
car we
that
want to.
I don't think that I'm like I got to cheer harder for LA Knight because he showed up in a Maserati, you know. But yeah, I thought the Tiffany Barbie entrance was cool, and the match was okay, but it wasn't nearly as good as I thought they could have stole the show on night one, and it just
Hmm.
turned out to be kind of fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then main event of the evening. Seth Rollins defeated CM Punk with Paul Heyman and Roman Reigns by pinfall. The triple threat match, 32 minutes 55 seconds. Uh, when the Tiffany Stratton Charlotte match ended, I was like, there's like an hour left in this show.
Yeah.
Is Roman Reigns' entrance going to be 30 minutes long? And then they did like the Hall of Fame, and then they threw to some commercials, and they threw to like other stuff, and then there was still like 40 minutes left, and
There's
everybody got something for this entrance. Seth Rollins got the the flamethrower, which was pretty cool, and came out dressed in black first, and then flamethrowered, and then when they cut back to him, he was in white.
It's kind
In
of
his
which was cool, but it's kind of an aimless flamethrower. Like you got to let him flamethrow something. Like you can't.
Yeah, if you're gonna
What's he doing?
flamethrower, yeah, you got to Rick
Burn
Dalton it.
what down?
Yeah.
You know?
Well, yeah. Well, that's also I don't know. Like the burn it down for Seth Rollins is always kind of interesting too, because it's like, do you want to burn down the establishment of WWE, of which you are one of the top stars? Do you feel that you need to remake it in your what machine are you raging against? Essentially, is the question.
Yeah.
That's always kind of his character. But
And he's just like the song's pretty dope though, huh?
yeah,
Ha
they sing
ha
"Whoa" to my song.
ha
Uh, then Living Color played in CM Punk, sounded great. Living Color, always a pleasure to see. Like those dudes still got it. I hope they've gotten.
I appreciated Punk for giving each guy their moment. Like he went
Yeah,
and put his arm around each guy so they'd get a close up on the camera. So it wasn't just they weren't just afterthoughts the whole time. You know,
yeah,
Phil Brooks. Don't get me confused. Phil Brooks, major dickhead, but
yeah.
that part was cool.
Yeah, well, and I guess he's legit friends with the Living Color guys. Like he knows those guys, and I'm sure.
He's got to get those royalties for somehow.
Yeah, well, and I'm sure. Yeah, I'm like they must have gotten a bag and a half just from CM Punk using their song
Yeah.
for all these years. So I always like the thing with Heyman where Punk goes to check his watch, which is his thing, and then he doesn't have it, and then he checks Heyman's watch. That's like I don't. They're fun little back and forth. And then Reigns came out, and he just he's taken over the Undertaker spot, man. He just however long Roman Reigns wants to take to get to the ring, that's how long it's going to be.
Yeah, and it's fine. Like it's wrestling right now. When people ask me like, does wrestling have a star? Like, is wrestling? And I'm like, well, Roman Reigns is kind of the biggest star in wrestling still. Like,
he's a legitimate giant star. Like, but I thought this match was great. The trouble in a triple threat a lot of the time is it ends up being multiple singles matches because it's really hard to integrate 3 people into a wrestling match. But I thought they did a pretty decent job of not doing the thing that happens in most triple threats where like a guy gets hit with a move and then he's just dead for a few minutes until
they did it once.
But
so Reigns gets hit with like he gets thrown into the steps, which we understand. Steps hurt. Okay.
Yeah. But then they start titanium plated, dude. Just so you know.
Okay. So was Eric Bischoff's foot. Okay. So they and then they're like, okay, guess we can just go fight in the crowd for 10 minutes, and Reigns is just left with Heyman, and we don't get any. I wonder what they were doing. I'm sure Reigns was just laying on the ground because Reigns couldn't get up
and just hang out. Yeah,
right. Just like he's like, so how are the kids, Paul? You know,
hydration station, dude. That's what the prime That's what the prime hydration station was for. They did. It felt to me like a minimum amount of this. The platonic ideal of this is Samoa Joe versus AJ Styles versus Christopher Daniels, which might be the best triple threat match of all time. Where they were just
who wouldn't know about that one?
Right. Just so people know, it happened in TNA. These are I'm providing my bona fides. I'm aware of the unbreakable triple threat. You'll be aware of it too. We'll eventually get there. But
they call it the unbreakable triple threat.
Well, it was at an event for TNA called Unbreakable.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Was that after the Michael Jackson album?
It was.
Well, it's Invincible, but there's a song Unbreakable on the album.
Yeah. The probably huge in that locker room at that time. So I thought this was really good. All 3 guys are big stars. Of course, the big thing that happens here is everybody's down. We're near the end of the match. Paul Heyman grabs a chair. And this is the soap opera of wrestling. This is what everybody tunes in for. He grabs the chair and the crowd is immediately like, oh shit, who's he going to give the chair to?
This is after Punk hit Rollins with the go to sleep and then immediately got speared, and then Roman got curb stomped.
Yes, they traded finishers, so everybody's down.
Yeah.
In the ring. And Heyman slides the chair to Punk while Reigns doesn't see it. And he gets in the ring with CM Punk. And look, we're talking about in my opinion, 2 great performers. Paul's an all-timer. Punk, put aside all the Phil Brooks of it all. He's a great pro wrestler. They telegraphed this nut shot by Heyman so badly because Heyman didn't want to fuck it up.
Punk did a lot of things in this match, man. His punches looked like shit. He ran around slow. Yeah. He did a spinning back fist that looked worse than anything AJ Styles has ever done. You know what I'm talking? You saw that.
Yeah.
I know you saw that, Dusty. And then, like at the very beginning, him and is it him and Rollins that are throwing these winging effeminate punches at each other at the very beginning of the match? It's just. He was setting up moves by standing there still. Like, I don't know what happened to Phil Brooks. And he sold well the whole match. Like his selling was good. The Doomsday Device was good. Like certain thing, not everything looked like shit, but like a lot of his offense did not look good at all in this match, in my opinion.
Well, this is weird to say as the only person who's ever actually fought in the UFC, but for years, all of his
except for Brock. You know,
sure.
Forgetting about him because
all of his striking offense was always the weakest looking shit of his repertoires, and he loves to do it. And it doesn't
so
look
bad.
Good. Yeah,
he doesn't plant on his punches at all. He's just like winging his arms. When he ran across the ring to give Roman a knee. I think he got thwarted, but he ran across the ring to do it. He runs like a unathletic 50-year-old man. Like,
well, that was of course, I don't know that you know that was always the knock on him, is that like he's just an unathletic person. Even in wrestling school, they were just like everything's harder for him because he has no natural athletic
Yeah.
tendencies.
He made sure to tell everybody about that, by the way.
Yeah. He got over it.
I'm a step behind everybody, just so you know. I'm going to overcome this. It's going to be way cooler when I get there than when any of these talented guys get there. Have you heard that I also don't drink or do drugs?
So,
sorry, I'm shitting on your voice so much.
Heyman gets behind Punk, hits him with the low blow, and the crowd goes wild. And Reigns is now sitting there. He sees that he's betrayed CM Punk, and Paul's yelling at Punk, going, "You made me do it. Why'd you make me do it?" And he
made me choose.
Yeah, and he goes and gives like just Heyman's the best. Drops down to his knees, has the chair, hands the chair to Reigns, and is telling Reigns, "Look, Rollins is getting up." And of course, Rollins is getting up in the least natural way possible, where you have your back turned to the guy that you're fighting.
At like he's just barely an obtuse angle,
right?
Slowly getting up.
Yeah, with your back turned to the guy that you've been trying to kill for weeks. And he's like,
and
look,
who you've traded back shots with a chair with.
Yeah. And he's like, look, there's Rollins in the same position you were in when he turned on you 10 years ago. What a poetic piece of action to come full circle.
My tribal chief, look, a callback.
Who could have foreseen? Yeah, my tribal chief, dramatic tension, please.
Poetic justice.
So Reigns is like, fuck yeah, here we go. He winds up. Heyman, Nutshot 2, Electric Boogaloo. Heyman's in for both.
Did you notice that
attacked?
This might have been the greatest. This might have been the greatest Nad shot of all time, because I don't know if you noticed that Heyman, he hits it, and he keeps his hand up there, and he just grinds it back and forth on Roman's nuts while it's up there.
I remember. Bang them shits with a spike bat, like bow.
I remember grinding my forearm on Roman's nuts. Like it was something to do.
Because he can main event another one. He can main event another one, motherfucker. So they
can main event another one.
The like WWE production is almost bar none in terms of like the way that they catch the shots and how they book things and how they block things out and stuff. But they kind of missed it here, in my opinion, because after he nutshots Roman, Heyman grabs the chair and walks over to Rollins, who isn't even looking. He doesn't have any idea what's happened, and he just has his hand out for the chair. And then Heyman gives him the chair. And I felt like that would have been that's a really cool indication that Rollins has been in control this whole time. He knows exactly what's been happening, but they kind of fumbled the handoff from the angle there, in my opinion. It's a minor thing, but it still mattered.
Yeah.
And then Rollins hits Roman again in the back with the chair, and he's like, God damn it. Again.
How many times are you gonna hit me with this chair, Seth Rollins?
That was weeks ago. And then hits him with the stomp.
I hit you tonight.
Yeah. Hits him with the stomp, picks up the win. It was, I thought, the only way, because Rollins has kind of been in the face in the doo-doo for most of the build to this thing. Like, he didn't win the feud with Punk. He hasn't been able to beat Roman. He's been the one complaining about everything. And so it was like, he probably has to win this match to salvage him as a heel. And I don't want to toot my own horn here, but I believe on last week's episode, I called Heyman leaving the event with Rollins after double crossing Roman and Punk. And you can check
I edited it out.
Well, luckily you can check my blue sky, because I sent that shit straight up to the sky.
God damn it! I was trying to protect you.
Yeah. And Rollins wins. I think this is the best way moving forward, especially considering what happened on Raw, which we can get into a little bit. But like Punk didn't need this win, Roman didn't need this win. The feuds can continue. You can split the guys off in various ways still. And it freshens up Rollins and freshens up Heyman. Heyman has a new guy, and Heyman's personality with Punk was different than his personality with Reigns, which will be different, I assume, because Paul's a pro, as to how he will interact with Rollins. So I think it's a good move going forward.
They have to do a Roman versus Seth singles match at some point, right?
Yeah, I mean that's ultimately what it's building to, but you can stretch that out, however long you want, with because Roman's probably going away for a while. He doesn't. he's a big star. He doesn't show up on most of these shows, so
yeah.
They're not immediately going to Backlash to have Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns.
Yeah, it's going to be a big one. It's going to be like Elimination Chamber or something, right?
Yeah, maybe it's WrestleMania next year. That's a long time. I mean, there's probably a match in between, but I think you could really
it could
hold
be like
off.
a Royal Rumble match or something like SummerSlam.
Yeah, you gotta do something for the Summerfest. So night one, kind of a thumbs in the middle. I thought the opening match and the closing match were really good. I thought Jacob Fatu versus LA Knight was like fine, but there's not like it wasn't banger after like the entire time. I'd say you got to watch the opening match and the main event, and everything else is kind of at your own discretion.
Yeah, I would agree with that for sure. Like that, I had a lot to say about the main event, but I think a lot of it was really good, like including Punk. Like, told the story pretty well. The pacing wasn't bad. It took a little bit too long. I don't need them to fight into the crowd, but I'm fine with it, and I do agree with you that the right guy won. So
yeah, I'm seeing some 5 stars for the main event of night one. I don't know that I go the full 5 for my ratings.
Tokyo Dome.
Yeah,
no, I don't have it. I don't have it 5 stars.
I had it actually at 4 1/4. So 4 2 5 stars from me.
I think at 4. I think 4 1/4 is fair.
Yeah, definitely main event worthy. Now, Andrew, I asked you to recall at night one, which they deemed a sellout, to remember the total.
57,037 people.
That's right. Now, night two.
Wow, I actually remember.
How many? If night one was a sellout, night two is also a sellout. How many people do you expect to be at the night 2 sellout?
You could probably squeeze another 15, 20 people in there. You know what I mean?
Night 2, 60,343.
9,000?
Now, no, that's about 2,000. 57 to
57,000.
Yeah.
I was thinking 51,000. 2,000.
Now riddle me this. Yeah. Did they change the setup for night 2? The configuration of seats? Yeah.
So there's a little more room in the arena, probably.
Yeah, probably get a couple of other guys in there.
Yeah.
It's it's just funny that that they're just I mean, it doesn't matter, who cares, but it's just funny that they were like, night 1 sellout, this number, night 2 sellout, different number, bigger number,
much different number. Like if it was, like I said, if you can have sellouts and there's different numbers of people, but are you saying that 2,000 people didn't redeem their tickets night 1?
Yeah,
that's a lot of people.
So opening match night 1, Io Sky, the women's champion.
Night 2.
Or I'm sorry, night 2. Defeated Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley, 14 minutes 25 seconds. This match fucking ruled. This match, in my opinion, was great. In case anybody didn't know, the triple threat for night 1 is my match of the night. And night 2, they opened with this triple threat. I thought this was great. All three of these women did a spectacular job. I really like Io Sky. I'm glad she won. I didn't think she would. I thought they were putting the belt back on Rhea, but I think there's more possibilities this way. I put this above the main event of night one. This is like 4.5 stars to me. This is a really good match in my estimation.
God damn. I can't put it above it because it's girls, but
and half the time.
I'm just kidding.
Fucking don't Boris get to the chorus, man.
I don't know, man. EO's 7 inches shorter than Rhea Ripley. It's tough, man.
Yeah, I mean,
Fit in
yes,
her pocket, bro.
That is the case. But I thought the finish worked believably. Where I think Bianca had hit Rhea with her finish, and then Io Sky moonsaulted onto everybody out of nowhere, and that was a really creative finish. I'm willing to give it a little bit of leeway as far as the believability, which I guess your mileage will vary on that. I just really like Io Sky. I think she's really talented.
Yeah, I am too. If you're good enough, like Ray, I mean, we believed Ray beating the Big Show. You know what I mean?
Right.
Did Ray ever beat the Big Show?
I believe he did. In fact,
I thought he did.
Show, yeah. And Kevin Nash, famously. Take that. I'm sure Nash did him a favor.
6 moves to beat me, bitch.
Yeah, yeah. Sure, Nash did him a favor, and if you ask him, he'll tell you about it. But I thought this was really good.
That's all I need to know. What's the finish?
Really,
that's my Kevin Nash.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know, bro.
I don't know, dude. What's the finish?
really, really hot opener for night 2. Then they went to Drew McIntyre defeating Damian Priest in the Sin City Street Fight. 13 minutes, 55 seconds. I also thought this was pretty good. I like Drew McIntyre as a heel. He's funny. He's cocky. He's a big fucking dude. So I could believe that he could beat the shit out of you. And he's also been on the losing side of a couple of feuds. So he needed this. It felt like to kind of be seen as another threat, especially if Jey Uso is going to be the champ they're on different brands. So that doesn't really work. But a credible threat to any of the belts, you need McIntyre to look strong. So
now this match, I will admit I did not watch this match. I missed it.
It was good.
What is a Sin City Street Fight? Is it just no DQ?
Yeah, it's just a regular no disqualification match. They didn't have the downside that I heard some people saying was they didn't do anything particularly branded to Vegas, but I don't know that you could go fight on the strip or what you really can do, to
just throwing them onto poker tables with chips all over the place and shit.
Yeah, go on to Fremont Street and fight one of those street performers or whatever,
They're fighting into the Bunny Ranch.
Yeah, it was fine. It wasn't anything to write home about. I think I'm not as sold on Priest. I think Priest is okay, but I think Drew was the right choice here. So next, Dominic Mysterio won the Intercontinental title in a fatal 4-way, defeating Braun Breaker, Finn Balor, and Penta whenever Dominic pinned his stablemate Finn Balor after a frog splash, 10 minutes, 30 seconds. These guys really got after it too. I don't know if you were able to see this one.
I did.
Okay. I thought this was pretty good. There was a lot of action. Obviously Braun Breaker is a breakout star, no pun intended. I think that guy's got a limitless ceiling. They didn't beat Penta here, so there's some more that they can do after that. And I think Mysterio is such a good chicken shit heel. He's perfect as the Intercontinental champion. He can be the honky tonk man of 2025 as the IC champion, just as the cowardly shitty heel that somehow wins his matches.
I'm all in on Dominic Mysterio. I'm officially stamped it all in. Braun Breaker is a super athlete. I tweeted from the Wrestling Over Everything account. It's crazy to be Scott Steiner's nephew and still be the best athlete in the family. Which I truly believe he might be a better athlete than his uncle. He's definitely a better athlete than his dad. I mean, his dad's a freak athlete too, but there's levels to this.
He kind of got the best of everything. He can do all the shit that Scott could do, and he's stout like his dad. Not that Scott Steiner was believable. Both the Steiner brothers are brick shit houses, but he's just got genetics that make him a monster. But he's got all the athleticism too, Like that top rope Frankensteiner he does where he like no hands it is insane. Like that's an insane thing to pull off.
And I love how they shot the whole match where Braun Breaker would just fly in out of nowhere and fuck everybody up.
Yeah, that and like they're trying to do in some ways like a more sports presentation, like with the graphics and stuff, which I really like, where they have like this guy's been the champ for this long. Here's how many title reign or title defenses he's had. Here's like
Do
some
we give
difference.
AEW some credit for that?
To some degree, yeah, but they like I don't care about the win loss thing. I think the win loss thing is kind of is and they don't do it either now. Like that's tough because it's wrestling, but like more analytics I don't think are bad if you're trying to sell these guys as legitimate athletes. And Breaker looks like a legitimate athlete.
Yeah, just the idea that you maybe win loss record isn't a good idea, but a little bit of like they said at one point, the Gunther had been a champion for 80% of the time that he's been in the company. Like that type of stuff is fun.
Yeah,
and only use it. I mean, it's fake, so only use it when it works for you.
Right. Well, and it kind of legitimize or add stakes to stuff. You're like, oh shit, it's the 8th title defense by this guy,
Yeah.
or like, So I think all of that's really good, and I thought this was a pretty good match, especially considering they were only given 10 minutes. I like Dominic as the champ. Next, we got Randy Orton defeating Joe Hendry by pinfall in the Randy Orton Open Challenge. I think this was perfect because you have a few guys that are coming back in that could have been the mystery opponent. Like Rusev is back, Aleister Black is coming back, but no matter who was in this match, they were going to lose to Randy. So like, let's have it be Joe Hendry, who is not a legitimate threat at this point, but he gets a WrestleMania moment. He's a crowd favorite. He gets a little spot in the match, and then Randy gets to RKO him literally out of nowhere. 3 minutes and 10 seconds. It accomplished exactly what it should have. It was a fun little interlude. Like I thought this was perfect for Joe Hendry.
I kind of like his little turnaround smile thing. It's cute.
Yeah, it's funny. His theme song is funny. Say his name and he appears.
I like his theme song too. I don't know. I have been wrestling with myself since I watched this over if TNA makes a mistake by letting their champion get squashed on WWE television. Like, what's his name? Meltzer's real pissed about it. Meltzer said, never has he ever seen a serious champion from another organization be allowed to go get squashed on different organizations' programming. And
well,
it's a weird thing
because that's happened. But
he said name one time in the last 100 years that it happened. I'm not saying that he's right.
Right. Well, I can recall when Taz won the ECW championship as a WWE contracted wrestler and then lost to Triple H, who was the WWF champion, like 2 nights later. He didn't lose the belt or anything, which neither did Joe Hendry. I just think I see what he's saying, and there's certainly an argument. That was a big argument online, but like almost nobody knows about TNA. Like it's such a small thing, and it's Randy Orton, so it's like what they're gonna have. Like, I guess you could squash one of your own guys, but it's like Joe Hendry got to be at WrestleMania, and
yeah, I'm sure he's glad it happened, but it's just an interesting thing, right? Like,
yeah. It certainly creates levels where it's like, well, Joe Hendry can be taken this seriously, but not this seriously.
Yeah, and more people know who he is now, and probably even more people know what TNA is, because I'm sure there's kids that didn't know what TNA was watching this match. But like, just interesting. I don't know how I feel about it yet.
I think the counter argument is like nobody's not tuning into TNA now based upon this that would have otherwise. You know what I mean? Like they're not going to be like, oh, that guy's a joke champion, so I'm not. Like if you were unaware of it, because he also lost in the Royal. He got thrown out in the Royal Rumble. Like he's been on NXT, so he's kind of been around. But it's like I don't know that it moves the needle for TNA's business either way.
Yeah,
even if he had won, are more people going to be like, let's say in a universe where he beats Randy Orton somehow, are more people going to be like, well, I'm definitely going to buy Sacrifice now to see that guy? I don't know,
They probably pay a little bit more attention though, because that means that they have like plans for him, you know.
Yeah. Next up, Logan Paul defeated AJ Styles, 17 minutes 50 seconds. I don't know what it was. I couldn't for the life of me get into this match, and I wanted to. And I think both these guys are good. AJ Styles is very talented. Logan Paul has clearly been a really good pro wrestler. I just couldn't like it. Just
I'm gonna hot take this, Dusty.
Yeah,
I'm gonna hot take it.
Okay.
Are we sure AJ Styles is really good? Like,
I'm sure that he
never cared about an AJ Styles match. Like, I know technically he's a good wrestler.
Yeah.
Not double leg kick, spinning back fist notwithstanding, right? That's an abomination. But everything else, pretty good. Like, he moves around well, especially back in the day. He's a very athletic dude, very unassuming for a guy who looks like Billy Ray Cyrus. But like on the mic, like he's white bread, dog. Like, he's nothing.
Yeah.
Who cares about that guy? You know? So like,
right.
Like, and for like all the fans are super mad that like Logan Paul won this match. And it's like, I would have had Logan Paul win this match too. People care about Logan Paul matches.
He's a heel. And also, you being upset at him winning is good for Logan Paul.
And if AJ would have won, they're not buying AJ merch. They're going, oh, thank God AJ won that. Now let me go to something. Let me think about the main event now. Like, now Logan wins, and everybody's fucking mad about it. And like, I truly don't believe that Logan has go away heat. I don't want to hang out with Logan Paul. I think he's a douche. But like,
right,
he's an interesting professional wrestler. Something that AJ hasn't been, in my opinion, for a very long time.
I can certainly see your point. And clearly based on my own feelings for this, because I'm watching it going like, I should be able to get, like, they can do the moves, but as is often pointed out, just being able to do the moves or do the moves cool is not enough. And like, the story for this was real thin, where it's like AJ Styles has to quote unquote protect professional wrestling from Logan Paul, who's wrestled in the main event of various shows and stuff. Like, the wrestling doesn't get worse if Logan Paul wins. It's not that kind of thing, like whenever Frank Mir was talking about wrestling Brock Lesnar, and there were guys coming up to Frank Mir being like, you have to beat this guy because if he wins, it delegitimizes us, which is also not true because Brock's a real athlete. But like, it's not
Brock's
that
a monster.
like, Logan Paul's already there. He's been the U.S. champion. Like, it's so that's it was just real paper thin, and just, I don't know, kind of white bread, like you said. Next,
Logan lost to Seth, WrestleMania 39.
We were there.
What did he do last year at WrestleMania?
What was he in last year?
I don't know. He wrestled at WrestleMania last year, didn't he?
Yeah, I think he was in was he in a multi-man match?
Yeah, I think he was, and I think he won. Let me look.
Seth Rollins, for the Seth Rollins match, by the way, we were there. I missed that entire match because I got lost in SoFi trying to get back to the ring.
So I watched the whole shit. I never got up. He defeated Kevin Owens and Randy Orton in a triple threat match for the U.S. title.
That's right.
We need to stop pretending that this guy is not a wrestler.
Yeah. Well, and Kevin Owens, it was the same thing. It was the same storyline, almost verbatim. This guy doesn't belong. We hate this guy. Let's get rid of this guy. But performed better because Kevin Owens is a better wrestler on the mic. More
Kevin
charismatic.
Owens makes us care about things, and even Randy Orton to an extent makes us care about things. And they keep acting like this guy is like, oh man, he doesn't belong here. You mean the former United States champion?
Yeah, the belt that Ric Flair and Harley Race and Ricky Steamboat and Steve Austin have all held. This guy held it. Doesn't belong.
Has Kevin Owens been the heavyweight champion? He has, right?
He has indeed, yes.
So he beat two former heavyweight champions.
Yeah.
Because Randy Orton, I'm sure, has been the champion.
Yeah. Many times the champion.
So we're going to just, I can't lose to this guy because, man, wrestling's over if I lose to this guy.
The problem was,
Come on,
seemed like
man.
AJ was trying to give a rip, and we know he's the best when he doesn't give a rip.
Listen, and that gimmick was tested. Did you see when they zoomed in on his face and he screamed "motherfucker"?
Yeah, he's given too much of a rip. You know,
He's
too
too much. Oh man, I gave a rip.
I'm
so mad that I gave a rip.
The penultimate match to the main event, we got Lyra Valkyria, and who was originally supposed to be Bayley. Then Bayley got kayfabe injured because they love to screw over Bayley at WrestleMania time.
Kayfabe injury? I didn't know that.
Yeah, she was kayfabe injured so that they could do the big return of Becky Lynch, which did get a big pop. People were into it.
Oh yeah, people on this podcast don't know yet. There was a good chunk of time, where I thought Becky Lynch was a deaf girl.
Well, I think
turns out she's just Irish.
Yeah. She
just talks funny because she's Irish.
They defeated Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, who were the women's tag team champions. 8 minutes 40 seconds. I got nothing on this really. I think Liv Morgan is a really good performer. Her and Raquel are a good team. This was just kind of fan service. Let's get a big pop for the return. They win the belts. Then we'll see where it goes. Becky Lynch is back, which is good for the women's division because she's very good. And if there's a angle
huge pop, by the way.
Yeah,
huge pop.
Well, she was a giant star. Like
people love
she
her.
broke through the zeitgeist.
Yeah.
And then there's an angle on Monday night having to do with this. So I'll talk about that in a second. But then the main event, Andrew, of the evening, the WWE champion, Mr. Cody Rhodes himself. His dad's Dusty Rhodes. Did you know that?
I just wish they would talk about. And Charlotte Flair's Ric Flair's son? Daughter?
Yeah. That's also true. I forgot to bring it up.
I feel like they don't publicize either of those two things enough.
Dominic Mysterio, Rey Mysterio's son. Who would have known? We got to shut the studio down. You got to do some more research. Next,
you're going to tell me that Braun Breaker's somebody's son.
Yeah. It was defeated by John Cena. Yes. By John Cena in the main event. 21 minutes, 40 seconds. John Cena breaks Ric Flair's record for most canonical title wins in history. Here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
This is the correct solution, in my opinion. The answer is right. They couldn't show their work as to the storyline of how they got here, and it was a bad match. A bad match to be the main event of WrestleMania.
Night 2?
I understand why, because you had heels winning both nights, so I don't even think you could flip the main events to send the crowd home happy. But Cena, he was never the smoothest dude in the ring. Now he's taken away all of his charisma, which is like such a weird thing for his heel character to be. I had so much more hope for what this heel character was, and it's like, what if he became an automaton? Is essentially what happened.
Yeah, what if it was just what if his gimmick was just nothing?
Yeah, he's just devoid of any personality. He talks so slow. Now his gimmick seems to be, I'm going to do very simple wrestling moves that elicit no response, just clotheslines and kicks and axe handles off the second rope. And they've it's a twofold problem, but it's people wanted this scene a heel turn for so long, and if this was what it was always going to be, I'm glad they didn't turn him heel, because it's so boring for him to be this heel. Now he's got the belt, which adds stakes to everything. That helps, in my opinion, his heel character. But going into this, they also got the crowd to start booing Cody, which they hadn't had happen yet. Cody Rhodes also, I believe, has a credibility problem as a person, has a like
it's the tattoo.
an insincerity issue. But people were so into the finish the story thing. He can do a fiery promo. Like sometimes he nails it. But if the crowd starts turning on him, you're gonna have a problem. There were some boos here.
Did
but
you see the skull helmet?
I did see the skull helmet.
I just wanted to make sure you saw the skull
People
helmet.
love the skull helmet, dude. I'm seeing a lot of scuttlebutt about the skull helmet.
Why? The motorcycles were cool. I liked. I'm a dirt bike guy.
Yeah, I was like, if he comes down to the ring on that dirt bike, he's a babyface for sure. No, just a skull mask.
Just a skull mask.
Yeah, I thought the match lacked, and then they saved the one ref bump for this main event because they're working old style. Here's this ref bump out of nowhere.
It was such a fucking bad. What is his name? I haven't uttered this motherfucker's name since for 120 episodes, Dusty.
Yeah.
That was a Nick Patrick ref bump.
He got smushed in the corner, dude. He's dead. He's
dead. He a man that is bigger than him.
Sure.
Kind of gingerly smushes him just a little bit into the padded corner, and this man is dead.
Yeah, his spirit has left his body.
Lou Gehrig injected him with something.
He's out, and some music hits, and people are like, "Oh shit, here we go." Now, this is what we paid for. Here's the next level of this shit, and out comes Travis Scott. And when I say out comes Travis Scott, I'm being generous. Travis Scott walks so slow to the ring with a full entrance that Cody has to sell for. He has to sell the entire time that fucking Travis Scott's coming out, and John Cena just had to stand there grinning. It took so long, and it's so stupid because no one cares about Travis Scott in the wrestling context if The Rock's not there with him.
A lot of people, because he got a little bit of a pop. I think people were happy to see a celebrity, which is stupid. Right.
But they probably thought The Rock's coming out too.
I guess so. But it's like, it's just, he took so long. For some reason, he's got a belt.
Yeah.
And he just keeps walking, and that song, that, by the way, they had been playing all night.
Yeah.
This is not a new song. This is a song that we would actually all like to stop hearing.
It's the WrestleMania theme song, bro.
Yeah, I know it is. Okay? And Ric Flair is Charlotte Flair's dad.
Yeah.
So it's just like, it took him so long, but this is, and we talked about this with WCW, shenanigans. As soon as I saw Travis Scott walk out of that shit, I went, oh, that's the end of this match. This is no longer a wrestling match.
Yeah.
We are now in what they classify as the finish to this match.
Yeah.
Which is going to be bullshit. Anyway.
So Cena gets taken out by Cody, and then Cody and Travis Scott are going to have a moment in the ring because Travis Scott legitimately I guess busted Cody's eardrum at Elimination Chamber when he slapped him in the head. So now Cody's going to get his receipt. And Travis Scott gets in the ring real slow. And Travis Scott is a very slight man. And Cody Rhodes is not the biggest guy in the world, but it's like, what did Travis Scott think he was going to do against Cody Rhodes?
He's supposed to be scared. It's your champion.
Yeah.
This little skinny rapper that doesn't have a weapon should be scared of your champion.
Cody should be chasing him. But no, he gets in the ring, faces off with Cody, tries to throw a slap. Cody grabs him, hits the crossroads, which Travis Scott does sell like death, at least, which is pretty good. At least for a minute. And then John Cena.
Yeah, Cody was trying to get him out of the ring, and Travis was like, dude, do I Do I help you? Like, am I supposed to?
Right, am I supposed to get
I don't
up?
blame him. I wouldn't know what to do in that respect.
Yeah. Eventually, like, this is the problem with Cody Rhodes, and this is the problem with the wrestling main event for WWE at this time, and also AEW does this shit. The acting, John Lovett's acting.
Shout out to John Lovitz, we love you.
At the end of these wrestling matches, where it's like Cody has the belt, and he takes it from Cena, who was trying to cheap shot him, and now Cena's begging off, and Cody is torn. Do I turn to the dark side? Do I use the belt to beat this guy?
Because in the build-up, Cena had told Cody, "You're gonna have to make a decision at some point."
Right, but Cody Rhodes went to acting school, so now he's got to emote for all these people. It's like, dude, this guy hit you in the balls a month and a half ago, hit you with a belt, bloodied you up. He's been talking shit.
He's already cheated in this match.
Yeah, you're the champion. Don't you want to? Didn't you? Wasn't the whole point that you won't need to be the champion? Hit this dude with the belt. Who cares?
Yeah.
But no, Cody.
Your daddy would have hit him with the belt.
Yeah, Dusty would have never. You know what I mean? And of course, Cody chooses the White Knight path, and Cena, of course, because why wouldn't he? Cena kicks him right in the nats, straight up in the nats. And then
he just pick up the belt and hit him with it, or
and
he
him
kicked him in the butt. Oh, he does kick him in the nuts.
Hits him in the nuts again, 2 times. Football in the groin had a football in the groin.
Fool me twice.
Yeah. Picks didn't Cody Rhodes ever read The Scorpion and the Frog? Come on, man. And
so, we're just gonna keep going. The allegory with the guy who's God's like, I sent you 2 boats and a kayak, you dumbass.
Yeah.
God's like, you had the belt in your hand. What did you expect me to do?
What do you mean deliver you from this? Come on, man.
You son of a bitch.
So he belt shots Cody and then just pins him. That's it. Yep. 1, 2, 3. John Cena's the champion. This is after, of course, Cody kicked out of having his attitude adjusted many times.
From the top rope.
From the top rope. And the metal belt or the metal turnbuckle loop doesn't end Cody. 1 belt shot. That's it. Match over.
It's also, this is no DQ match, Dusty?
As far as I'm aware, no. But the referee, if you'll recall, had his soul removed from his body.
But referee no longer incapacitated. He is capacitated. He is rocking and rolling, right?
No, he was still down. He was down.
Hold on. Give me a sec.
Okay.
Give me a sec.
Yep.
When Travis Scott gets to the ring, because Travis Scott, the first thing he does, I can't remember how Cena got or Cody got Cena hurt. I think he crossroads Cena.
Right.
And then the ref is counting 1, 2, 3. Travis Scott grabs Cody's leg, pulls him out of the ring.
Yeah.
Or pulls the ref out of the ring. I can't remember what he does. He stops a count. You DQ that motherfucker right there, right in the middle of the ring. Match is over. WrestleMania's over.
Yeah.
Champ retains.
That's yeah. What are you gonna do? That's
I think that's what Triple H said.
Yeah. Well, so look again. The result is correct in my estimation. Cena being the champion is makes his character much more interesting. And gives stakes to all of these upcoming appearances that Cena has. So you need that. But bad main event. It's a bad night. It's a bad main event to leave on for WrestleMania. And also, where's The Rock? The whole thing hinges on The Rock. And then the next day, The Rock goes on the Pat McAfee show, and he's like, yeah, they called me because Elimination Chamber wasn't really moving tickets. So I announced that I'd be there, and we decided that the Cena turn should happen there. And I assume that originally the Cena turn was going to happen at WrestleMania. That makes sense to me, that uh, they go into this thing babyface versus babyface. Cena shockingly cheats, turns heel, beats Cody, and then that's where you get heel John Cena without having The Rock involved at all. Because he's hanging out with The Rock. I don't know. It's yeah. Yeah, Dwayne on the TKO board, not great. Love The Rock. Yeah. 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 Uh and then he's like the I'm thinking 20 moves ahead. It's like I don't think you are, dude. Like uh but it really messes things up. Quickly on Raw to catch you up, John Cena came out and essentially was like, I have 27 appearances left before I retire and I take this belt home with me as the canonical heavyweight champion. Sure, you'll crown a new champion, but the canonical belt goes home with me. Which is or lineal, yeah, sorry. Or yeah. Uh yeah, they're in uh Bristol. No, that's ESPN. I forget where they're at. Oh, Stanford, Connecticut. Yeah. And then Randy Orton came out, RKO'd him. Apparently, we're getting Cena versus Orton for like the 18th time in a main event, which it's fine, whatever. Yeah, yeah, that's got to be a bridge to something else, but it's a big match. People probably want to see. They haven't seen it in a while, anyway. Uh, uh, yeah. Rusev returned, looking pretty jacked. Weird. Yeah. I'm interested because he just disappeared from AEW TV. Didn't want to do jobs for old AEW. Didn't seem like didn't like the creative, but now he's going back to WWE, where they weren't particularly great with a lot of his creative. But that was under Vince, so maybe they've got big plans for him now. Yeah, yeah, and he's a talented dude. I think there's a lot of stuff that could work with him. Uh, yeah. And then there was some call. Well, I don't know if they were officially call-ups, but they teased Julia, who's in NXT right now, one of the best female wrestlers in the world. She and Rhea Ripley kind of had a standoff, and that was pretty cool. And like there were only like 3 matches on this Monday Night Raw, but nobody really cares because they're getting all the storylines set up for what's coming up next. Uh, that he essentially came out and was like, I don't like you guys talking shit about me on commentary. You're lying and you're misrepresenting. And Michael Cole is like, we have to be able to give our objective opinions without like Michael Cole standing up for the First Amendment right to report. And then Gunther went for Cole, and Pat McAfee stood up and found out what it's like to fuck around, fuck around and find out with Gunther, who choked his ass out. But that could be a fun match. Pat McAfee has had good matches. Gunther's professional, like to the highest level. So that could be pretty fun. I like it because you don't want to reintroduce Gunther right back into the main event thing, or like get back into the title picture because you don't want him to take losses, but you also don't want to beat Jey Uso, I imagine. Yeah, I don't know what he's doing, man. Yeah, he just won the world title. Yeah, yeah. I I don't get it, But again, like I'm happy for the guy, and if he had gotten drunk, I don't blame him. He won the belt, but it's like he's got a charisma that doesn't come through like necessarily his promos or whatever. He's just got a connection with the crowd. That's you know, so maybe he shouldn't talk as much. Yeet, my friends. Sami Zayn returned, which was nice to see. You know, big Sami guy, skanking in the pit. And then Seth Rollins came out with Heyman, and they you know, now Rollins is the hot shit. He's the top guy. Punk came out. They got in a fight. Reigns came out. There was a fight, and then Braun Breaker showed up, speared Reigns, fucked him up, and essentially joined Heyman and Rollins, which I really like. I think that's a really good pairing. I don't know if they need another guy or not. Maybe you get a third guy in there, but I think Breaker and Rollins with Heyman is a good package. You can do tag matches. You can, you know, you don't want Breaker taking losses necessarily, but he can kind of be an obstacle. Four guys versus Seth, you know. I think all of that's really good. Oh, and Becky. Oh, sorry. No. Yeah. If you have a thought on that, I had another thing to move to. Yeah, he could use a heater or something. Right. 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 It's yeah. Yeah. And then Becky turned heel. There was a rematch for the women's title from WrestleMania, and Liv and Raquel won the belts back. So clearly, it was just for the big pop on WrestleMania night. And then Becky turned on Lyra Valkyria, and like I don't know, the beatdown was really weird because it was like she's punching her and she hit her with a clothesline or whatever, but Lyra Valkyria wasn't really selling it, and then she came in and hit her with another move, and then she hit her with another move. Like it was just an odd, and it was odd all the way around because it's like this girl's your a good enough friend for you to return and be the mystery partner the night before, and then tonight you're so mad you lost the belts that you decide like you know what, fuck you, I was whip your ass. Uh, if like if they weren't beholden to the big moment or the big pop, and win, they should have lost at WrestleMania. Becky Lynch and Laya Valkyria should have lost with Laya getting pinned, and then Becky's like, "Hey, I was a little bit rusty. I just came back. Give us a rematch, and we'll fucking win these things." And then Lyra gets pinned again, and then Becky is like, "You know what? I came back for this," and then beats her up. It doesn't make sense. Like one night later to completely flip her, in my opinion. But so Becky Lynch going to be a heel going forward. And yeah, so maybe she joins up with them, and then right, maybe she joins with Heyman and Braun Breaker. So who knows? But that's a WrestleMania recap. There's night two. I think that triple threat, the women's triple threat, is my my best match of the night. There, overall, kind of an in the middle WrestleMania. Like there's decent wrestling, but like it didn't feel WrestleMania enough to me. Yeah. Is there a Travis Scott? Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Right. Yeah, it's still the best WrestleMania to ever be in Las Vegas. They got that going for him. Uh, yeah, there's only two, so they got one of the worst and like one in the middle. So maybe in 20 years they'll they'll try it again. Uh, yeah. So that's the WrestleMania review. Thank you to everybody who listened. If you disagree or you think my opinion is butthurt, go ahead and give me a let me know what you think. Uh, yeah, yeah, yeah. We got to obviously do WrestleMania, so it's not without not without reason. But yeah, we've got different concepts for what we're doing going forward. So thank you for giving a shot. Appreciate everybody who listens. Like Andrew said, follow us on all the stuff. Uh, what do you think, Andrew? You think that's it? We love you. Bye.